What's up, guys? Jude here. Going to be showing you my rendition of the First Noel. We're going to be in key of D. And we're going to be playing a lot of this style chord right here. This is like a D, add 6, add 9. And then that 9 gets hammered onto the major third. Right, so same thing with the G. So the way I'm playing that is the 10th fret of the E string, the 9th fret of the D string, the 11th fret of the G string, and the 10th fret of the B string. So that is just the add 6, D add 6. If you hammer on, if you've got that all barred with your index finger right there, you hammer that on. That's where you get that action right there. So that's kind of that shape, and that just kind of bounces around from the 1 to the 3 minor, which is F sharp minor here. I'm just barring that, all the 2nd fret. E string, D string, G string, and B string. Just kind of doing it like that. So, and the G is played the same way as the D up here. So, back to it. And this chord right here is a G over A. So you got your G over A, and I'm kind of hitting my pinky there. Right, and this guy right here, the way I'm playing this kind of F sharp dominant, this is going to be a 2nd fret of the E string, 2nd fret of the D string, 3rd fret of the G string, 3rd fret of the B string. So it's going to sound like that. So that's kind of the movement there. It's just kind of moving around the melody. Lots of 1, 3, and 4 to 1, to 4 to 1, and then 3 and 4 or 5. The second time is 1, 3 dominant, 4 and 1, and then 4 again, and then 1, and then 3, 4 or 5 again. And then once the solo goes up high, this part is just going to change a little bit, comes down in intensity. So, and then the walk down on the 6. And I'll walk through that. So basically that's a B minor 7, kind of doing it like this, and then a right there. The way I'm playing that is just thumb on the 5th fret of the E string. You got your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string, and then middle finger 6th fret G string, and then index finger 5th fret B string. So that's kind of that shape I'm walking down from the B minor. So to the G, and then I'm going to the F sharp here. I'm kind of playing that as like a 1 over 3. Sometimes you can get that 3rd fret of the B string involved there on top of all this. Turns it from this to this. Right, so. And then I love this 2 minor. It's an E minor 9. Rather than playing it this way, you can move it up here, move your pinky to the 10th fret of the A string, and play the open E string. You get this real nice, rich, open 2 minor 9. So that movement there is the 2 minor 9 to the 4 over 5 to the 1 D, and then I'll probably lick up on the pentatonic right there. 3 dominant, and then now this part goes to the flat 7, and then to the 4, same shape, right? That add 6, add 9, hammer on thing, right? So just doing the same thing, just moving it down to the flat 7. And just to refresh how I'm doing that fretting, the flat 7 is going to be, you've got your 8th fret here of the E string, the 7th fret of the D string, 7th fret of the G string, and 8th fret of the B string. So, and then hammering on to the 9th fret of the G string, right? Right? So that's just that whole section. And then 4 over 5. And this gets really cool here. This shape right here just move your index finger down to the 2nd fret. It's kind of a stretch, but and then if you can, this is kind of a stretch for me, but hitting that second fret of the E string there too. This is hitting 2 strings right here, if you can see. So I kind of even need to fret that a little bit better. It's kind of tough sometimes, but right. So that's kind of a crazy chord. It's kind of a nice way to end that 5, going back to the 1. Right? This chord right here, I think I forgot to mention this earlier. This is just kind of a sharp 4. And the way I'm playing this is the thumb, doing a lot of thumb on the 4th fret of the E string. And then I'm doing 3rd fret of the D string, right? And then 4th fret of the G string. And then 5th fret of the B string, right? So you should have that chord. That's going to be kind of in the chorus sections when I walk it up. So you got, right? And then, and that's it for the rhythm chords. Cool, so let's get into the solo here. This is going to be starting on the 2nd fret of the D string, hammering onto the 4th fret of the D string, and then back, and then landing on the 5th fret of the A string. So like that. And nice snap to it, which is a nice reason to kind of do it down here on the D string, as opposed to like the 7th fret of the A string. Doesn't have as much snap to it, or here. Sounds really muffled. You know, the higher up the strings that you go, the more mid-range bite you're going to get. So that's kind of why I want to start it here, because it's got some nice snap to it. So walking it up with your pinky, and then right, just kind of in this D major scale area. And one thing I'm doing here is some ghost note picking. So right, and not just, but I'm getting that. Right, makes a big difference. Just those little ghost notes in between. So from there, it's going to go back to this part, to the sharp 5, and then I'm kind of just walking that up on the G string, and then back to the melody. And then eventually it will go to the higher version of the melody, which is, and here I'm on the hammering on from the 5th fret of the B string to the 7th fret, and then eventually resting on the 3rd fret of the B string, so kind of whipping it back. So right, and now we're just in the pentatonic area of D. Right, so that's kind of a familiar area there. And I'm doing a similar thing here as I was doing earlier on the lower version of the melody with the ghost note picking. So right, and then same thing as we were doing down here. So we got, and then cool. So now for the double stop section where the flat 7 comes in, this part will be like this: 2, 3, 4, 1, 1. So just real quick, or a little bit slower actually, we'll just do just like half tempo. So one more time, and 1. And right, and that's going to end that section, and then from there we go into the normal melody up high. So it's just, and then, and that's it.